Hi everyone, it's Emmy. Welcome back to my knitting channel and welcome back to Tour de Fleece Vlogs 2026 week 2. I realized after editing everything from last week's vlog, I didn't really introduce anything, so here's just a quick intro. If you don't know what Tour de Fleece is, hand spinners are spinning or treadling every single day that the riders in the Tour de France are cycling, and usually accompanied by vlogs. So I showed some snapshots last week of me spinning, but here is what everything has accumulated to. Not one, not two, but 3 full bobbins of hand spun wool, and I would like to think that they look pretty consistent. Altogether, I think, what's 180 times 3? That's about how many grams I've spun, so just short of 600. I think I have about a third bag left of combed wool and probably at least 100 grams or more of washed fiber that I still need to prep. So the plan is that tomorrow, which is the first challenge day, to ply all of these skeins, ply them all together, and that is probably going to be 3 bobbins worth of worsted weight yarn, hopefully. And who knows how many yards that will be, but it's like the first actual yarn that I will finish during the tour. My adventure today, which is to go to Dharma Trading Company. I think anyone who's done yarn dyeing will probably have heard this name. They are a very popular supplier of acid dyes. However, you may not know that they actually have a physical location that, in addition to having a bunch of stuff for all different types of dyeing, they also have a yarn store. And this is in San Rafael, California. Not San Rafael, as my roommate from Oklahoma likes to pronounce it. Technically that's correct, but not to the Californians. And the reason I'm excited about that is actually on their Ravelry page, they say which yarns they have. And one of the most recent project decisions I had that I'm planning for, one of the most recent projects I'm planning for, is a new colorwork sweater called the Pomona sweater. I don't remember the designer off the top of my head. And I received 5 skeins of this Araucania Nuble yarn that's hand painted. It's merino, I believe it's merino and silk. And this one's in the color bay leaf. And I have 5 skeins of this. And I was like, this is the color that I want as the base of that sweater. But I was like, I don't know if it's an expensive yarn. I don't know if I want to go track down all the other colors. And then I was just thinking, I'm just going to use this. I don't want to find a color match. If this is the perfect color, it's not quite the right yarn weight. It's a light fingering instead of a fingering weight yarn. But I'm just going to go see if any of the other colors in this yarn work for the colors of the sweater that I want, which it has a bunch of strawberries on it. However, come to find out, this yarn is discontinued. So that means we're sourcing it off of people who are willing to sell or trade it on Ravelry and the few stores that might still have it. So I was able to source 3 of these skeins. I don't know if this doesn't have a colorway on it. I think it's papaya. So currently I have 2 colors, but I need a white and a lighter green, I think, for the stems. And come to find out, when I look on the Ravelry page for Dharma, it says they carry it, or they still have it, and it's been updated recently, like in June. So they might have this yarn, even though it's been discontinued. So I'm plotting to maybe potentially get some dye stuff. Like I mentioned in the last video, they also have a new natural dye line. Online, it looks like it's almost completely sold out. So I'm just gonna go see. I don't know, maybe they have something. And then yeah, check to see if they have this yarn, because how awesome would that be? And then the plan is to come back home because I live close to a concert venue and I do not want to get stuck in the traffic of people coming to that concert later today. But come along with me. We're gonna go for a drive. Let's go. Okay, so I made it to Dharma. I did some shopping, and here's my haul. So let's start with what I came for. And I found one ball of this Arncuna Nuble yarn in one of the colorways that I was looking for. They only had like 3 colors left. So someone already balled it up. It's not a lot. I'm kind of hoping it's like the least amount of color, so I'm kind of hoping this one ball will get me kind of far. Unfortunately, they hadn't discounted it, which was surprising to me, but that's okay. And then they had more natural dyes in stock in store than they had listed online, and so I picked up 4 different natural dyes to supplement some of the stuff I've been doing. So one of the colors I wanted to get was a darker red, which is madder. And then to also supplement the darker brown, I got walnut hulls. This is $6, less than $6. And then since the green is hard to find, I don't really want to use this, but as a backup, I got chlorophyll. This was the most expensive. This is $25. So I hope it works. We shall see. I guess I didn't really notice that when I was grabbing it. That's a lot. 100 grams of chlorophyll. We'll see. And then last but not least, I got some indigo. And yeah, this I think would add another color. So right now the color scheme I'm sort of thinking is the marigold yellow, the madder for a red, so a red and a yellow. I'm gonna try maybe a carrot top green before I try the chlorophyll. And also this walnut hull is a backup if I can't get the redwood cone to work for the dark brown. Okay, and then the very last thing is for $10 I was able to get some cotton sliver. I've never spun with cotton before, but I touched it and it's so soft, my dudes. It's so soft. And I thought I could either try to spin it as sliver, or look at that, look how wispy it is. Let's see what the stable length is. Very short stable length. So I could try to comb it, I guess, but I was also like, yo, what if I made a 50-50 cotton wool blend of something else that has a short stable length? I guess maybe that's probably why they do cotton merino. Anyway, it's so soft. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Anyway, that's my haul. I spent way more money than I probably should have. What's new? Now, it took me an hour to get here because it's 17 miles. It took an hour because of the traffic in the city. And it's 1:47, so I do look-y want to get back to the city before it gets horrible. But I also want a nice view or something. Something where there's not an incredible amount of people, because I'm really feeling peopled out. Too many people. Okay. Well, let's see. I'm going to make a decision, and I'll catch you later. So I really kind of MacGyvered my Lazy Kate situation here, because these guys always fall over, and I think also with 3 plies that's going to be more prone to doing that. So I'm going to set up my spinning wheel. I'm going to set up my spinning wheel right here and then pull from the back. All right, and so after literally hours, I have about 3, I would say almost 4. I still have a tiny little bit on 2 of my bobbins, and then this got actually stuck on the Lazy Kate and I had to wind it by hand. So I just decided that this is where I'm gonna end the night. So the 3 bobbins of singles got me essentially 4, I'm gonna say that probably will end up being 4 full bobbins of my final yarn. And I think it looks relatively consistent. This one is maybe not the best example because I had so much going wrong, but look at that. It's so shiny. And I mean, for me, it's pretty consistent. So yeah, I'm excited. It's already 11 p.m. So I'm gonna hang this up tomorrow. It's the end of Tour de Fleece, July 12th. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so I apologize for the alarm in the background. Squash is also perturbed. Yeah, what's going on? I didn't do much. I'm like learning how to use command line so that I can use the core HPC stuff. Nice. Yeah. Or just at least understand it. Dave was like, isn't this guy just going to do the analysis for you? And I was like, I kind of don't want to just like give him my data and like have him do what he thinks is appropriate, because like he doesn't really know the question that I'm asking. Yeah. And I'm like, So I've got 3 hanks, and then I still have almost a full bobbin that I'm gonna wait to hank up until I can finish putting some more plied yarn on here. And then, yeah, so I think I'm gonna have a lot of yarn. I'm gonna wait to do my yardage counts until I actually finish the entire spin, I think. Maybe, we'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind.
A box of woolly treasures and find something to spin. And obviously I have got plenty of prepared Ryland, but I just fancy a bit of a change. If you are a beginner spinner, try sewing that fast 3 times. I do have a video on how to wind your niddy and how to finish your yarns, and I will link those in the description below.
Day something, and last night I didn't get back from lab until 10:40 p.m. so this is all I did before midnight, and yeah, I'm still processing the rest of the fleece, but this is a decent amount for now. I'm gonna focus on spinning. So it's the end of week 2. I'm back home at my parents' because I wanted to do a little bit more dyeing experiments. But I think that that's enough for this next series of videos. So this is our wrap up. I didn't get up to quite as much last week. Obviously, I still have a full-time job and I am in grad school, so I had some pretty late nights this week, but I did get to Plying, and I am close to finishing my next first bobbin. My goal for today, which you won't see this week, but you'll see next week, is to finish processing the rest of my wool so that I'm able to spin everything, the rest of it next week, and evenly divide it. I think, yeah, I've done the last round was the first half, so I think in the end I'll get about 7 or 8 skeins of yarn, which is very exciting. And yeah, next week there's going to be a lot that's going on, so obviously I'm going to try dyeing again today and tomorrow while I'm here at my parents' with the dyes that you saw me buy earlier this week. And also next weekend, I'm going to my aunt's house for a knitting meetup that she has with her friends. So obviously I'll try to vlog a little bit of that too. And I also might go to some other meetups for TDF during the week. This week just ended up not having as much going on, which is okay because I had a lot of stuff to do. So hopefully, next week will be a little bit more exciting. I might actually try to split it up into 2 videos depending on how much content I'm able to film. It gets a little bit boring just like filming the same thing over and over again, like filming just me spinning and then plying and over, and it's just white. So I apologize. I'm gonna try to focus more on the other stuff because that is also more entertaining for me to make content about. But I do want to just like keep you up to date on my progress. So I think this next week will be more of an adventure into hopefully finishing my spinning, and maybe a dip into testing dyes. And then the following video, which I can't promise which will come out every weekend, will be hopefully about actually dyeing the amount of yarn that I need for the color work project. But we'll see. I don't want to make any decisions. I'm going with the flow. But really what I'm trying to get towards now is to actually finish the full fleece spin. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed, even though it was a little bit less exciting and a little bit lower in energy, a little bit less ASMR content. But regardless, I think that's just the lull that happens with Tour de Fleece anyway. So have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week.